Good evening, Guardians, and welcome back to episode number 13 of Short Pause Presents Tower Talk. I'm Ben, that's Brent. We're here on behalf of Short Pause, of course. Make sure you're following us on Twitter at the Short Pause. www.shortpause.com is the website as well if you want to follow all the content that we put out on a monthly basis. This is our Destiny-focused video discussion series. So, Brent, you and I hop on here. We talk any and everything Destiny, and we have a good time doing it. How you doing this evening, man? Doing all right. As always, it's a very busy time in the world of Destiny, and we've got a lot to discuss on this episode. So I wanted to start things off with there's a big update that came out on Tuesday. Want to kind of go over some of the major points of it, kind of get our impressions about it. We've been playing the update since it came out a couple days ago, so we've got some experience with some of the things that have changed in the game, some of the things that they've updated. Update 1.2.3 is the update. It's known colloquially as the July update. And it doesn't add any new content to the game per se, but it does. I mean, I guess outside of the prestige raid layers, I guess you can consider that new content. But more so, it does a lot of stuff on the back end and a lot of kind of changes that people have been waiting for, things that people have been looking for, and there's some good stuff in here. So let's say we hop into this, Brent. If I could talk, let's say we hop into this and talk about some of the stuff that's going on with update 1.2.3. So
let's do it.
If you have not yet, go over to Bungie.net, read the entire patch notes for the updates. You can get the nitty-gritty of everything that's gone into this. But what you and I are going to do, Brent, we're just going to kind of highlight some of the big points that we want to focus on here and kind of give our thoughts on it. First thing I want to touch on, bounties are live right now. Mm-hmm. So you can go in there, and every day there's going to be 5 Crucible bounties available from Shaxx and 5 Crucible bounties available from Zavala that will get you rewards for your Vanguard or your Crucible, respectively, of course. So they function very similarly to how they did in Destiny 1. So you grab a bounty, you complete it. They're not too difficult in terms of the tasks. You get some tokens as a reward. Sometimes you can earn a legendary engram or a shader on top of that as well. So real quick, Brent, your impressions on what we're getting from the bounty system right now. Do you like that it's essentially just the D1 bounty system just brought over into Destiny 2? Were you hoping for something a little bit different? What's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, in terms of like the bounties, I guess I have two different opinions on it because there's two separate sets of bounties that you can get right now. There's the Vanguard set from Zavala, and then there's the Crucible set from Shaxx. I like the Vanguard ones from Zavala simply because you get 4 Vanguard tokens, and those go towards your Vanguard rank with Zavala, which we all know you need to hit level 50 for the Moments of Triumph. So that's nice to have that. I can go in there and knock out these bounties to help speed up the process because I'm only at level 20, so this is going to be a bit of a grind. So the bounties actually serve a pretty good purpose. Like, you're getting these tokens, it's helping you get that level ranked up and whatnot. So that part's really good. For the Crucible, though, it's a little bit different because Shaxx doesn't have a reputation rank.
Yeah.
And so you're getting these Crucible tokens, and yeah, that's great now, but they don't really go to anything other than the stuff that you're unlocking. And after a while, you're just...
Which we already have.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff that we already have. So I don't know exactly what all comes with the Crucible ones. You and I were discussing it. We're kind of hoping that maybe... I don't know if it's a part of it right now or if maybe it's something they can add later, but kind of give it a little more value for the bounties. For, like, example, maybe add a little extra Valor. We talked about this, maybe a little extra Valor when you get some of these bounties to help kind of speed up that process a little bit because, obviously, as we know, we have to hit level 5 for the Moments of Triumph. So I don't know exactly what the rewards are for it, but it doesn't mention anything about Valor or anything like that. And because Shaxx doesn't have an actual reputation system, it's a little difficult to get excited about those bounties. I mean, I'm glad they're there. It's something for us to grind towards, but it's just the payoff isn't nearly as rewarding as it is for Zavala.
Yeah, I'm with you. I can't remember, too. I think it was last season where you had to get a certain amount of packages to unlock some of the rewards for the Crucible. Is it that way in Season 3? Are there any that require you to unlock a certain amount of packages from Shaxx in order to unlock the ornament or whatever it is?
That's a good looking question. I can't
remember right now. Yeah, either way, So I'm with you. The tokens go towards the Vanguard reputation. That definitely helps for the greater reward of the moments of triumph. And with the Crucible, yeah, I think that might be the sweet spot in the future. Is maybe giving you an extra boost to your valor. They can't do anything with glory with this. It wouldn't make any sense. Glory is all about the competitive playlist and getting
Right.
that rank up. So I don't see them doing anything with that. But I could see them in the future giving you a slight bump to your valor earned, and maybe they give you like one square filled in towards your towards your rank streak or whatever. Something along those lines might be cool as well. But yeah, and from what I can tell, this seems like kind of the first step for bounties, is just kind of getting them back into the game. With Forsaken, I think they're gonna take even a little bit of a different form. I think more vendors will probably have bounties in Forsaken, and as well as the return of exotic bounties, and some of the bounties that are found in the world will be available during Forsaken as well. So this is kind of the first step, just to give you a little bit of an extra thing to do every day. So, but yeah, I'm happy they're there. I like bounties in Destiny 1. I like that they're here in Destiny 2. Definitely will be using the hell out of those Vanguard bounties. 5 bounties a day basically, Brent, equates to 4 tokens for each bounty. That's an extra 20 tokens. That's a rank. That's an extra rank every single day you can earn via the Vanguard bounty. So definitely going to be very useful to hitting that level 50 for the moments of triumph. And moving on from there, one of the biggest updates in this update is the unveiling of new exotic masterworks. So as we talked about previously, Legend of Acreus, Telesto, and Sleeper Simulant now available in the prestige version of Leviathan, Eater of Worlds, and Spire of Stars, respectively. Also, the exotic catalyst for Sturm is available now. It can be found on Nessus. And from what I understand, a lot of people are finding this one. Sounds like this one drops pretty regularly, so that one's not going to be too tough to achieve. I'm not sure what the catalyst does for Sturm yet, so I'm interested to get in there and see what that's all about.
I have to get Sturm before I can get anything.
You should probably do that.
I have to get this. I have to get Sturm. I have to get this done.
Yeah, it's not too bad to grind that one out. So you should definitely work on that at some point. This is an interesting one here too. Exotic catalysts from Heroic Strikes now have a slightly higher drop chance. Seeing as how nobody got an exotic catalyst from Strikes, but I hope that they're a little bit higher than they were. But it doesn't sound like too many people are procuring them yet. So those ones are tough to come by, man.
Which ones are tied to the Strikes? Do you know offhand?
I don't know offhand which ones are tied. I'd have to go in and look at the catalyst. I want to say like Risk Runner is one of them that's tied to.
I believe Risk Runner is one of them. Yeah,
it's tied to the Strikes.
Isn't Sweet Business one of them too?
No, Sweet Business is in the faction.
That's faction rallies. Nope, never mind.
There's
I just seriously went through all my weapons too to look at this recently. I was like, what do I have to do for this one?
There's another one off the top of my head that we use all the time that I can't think of right now. But yeah, there's quite a few that tie into the Strikes, and nobody's getting them. So hopefully that changes with the update here. And also the Skyburner's Oath exotic catalyst, which drops in the Leviathan raid now, has a slightly higher drop chance. So be on the lookout for that. A couple quality of life changes too, which we've talked about previously, Brent. But really excited about the change to Escalation Protocol, where you have a higher chance to earn the weapon the more times you defeat the boss. Of course, that requires actually defeating the boss first to take advantage of this. So one day that's going to happen, and we'll be able to use this new feature. Another big one, though, the Mercury Forge weapons are now available to be purchased from Brother Vance.
That's one thing I forgot to do. I need to get over to Mercury and figure out which gun I sharded on accident.
Yeah, so that's a big quality of life change. And then also armor can now be purchased directly from the Iron Banner faction rallies vendors, which is another huge change. In the past, people would change factions, or in the case of the way they did faction rallies in Season 3, like somebody might do Dead Orbit one week, finish that one out, and they want to move into Future War Cult, but they don't have any of the Future War Cult gear to get the renown bonus. So they have to grind missions and hope that they get the Future War Cult gear to really start taking advantage of the renown. Now you can just simply go to the vendor, purchase a full set of armor from them for the faction rally, and then you can start kind of earning that renown right away.
See, that's weird, then, because I went into I remember you mentioning that last time we were playing, and I went to New Monarchy to check the armor stuff, and it still said after a certain point, I think the third one said, you need 8 packages turned in to buy this.
Gotcha.
So I mean, you still have to grind, but yeah, then you can buy them, but there's still 10, tokens each. So you have to turn in a bunch of packages, and then you gotta save all the tokens to actually buy them. So it's not quite as handy as I was hoping it would be.
I didn't realize they still had the locks on those. All the
Yeah.
vendors have been set up like that in Destiny too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, on the planetary vendors like Devrim K, Asher, like Asher Mir, all those guys, they all had you had to turn in a certain amount of packages to them before you could purchase their gear. So I guess it just kind of goes with the flow on that then.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess good that it's there in some capacity though. Strike modifiers we've talked about, Brent. Blackout, glass, and grounded are now going to be a little bit more easy on us as guardians. Not as frustrating. I was doing one the other night. I think it was glass,
Mm-hmm.
which is the one that reduces your health and shield.
Mm-hmm.
And we did a Lake of Shadows, which is a tough strike with any kind of modifier on it. But that one was tough with glass, but it did feel a little more forgiving, and we were able to get through it when all was said and done.
That's good.
So one more point from the developers on this too, just so everybody knows, the goal is to ensure that these modifiers are noticeable, but when you advance your power and your stats, you can notice yourself overcoming the debuffs. So that's kind of the idea. They're trying to find this sweet spot with the modifiers, where as you rank up, you get more powerful. You feel like you're overcoming the challenge in a significant way.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that too, because I actually kind of sensed that last night when we did the Nightfall strike. You know,
Yeah.
because we haven't done it in a while, and then I got up to 380. You're at like 375. I know Dark Shadow was up to 379. And we went in there last time. We had some tough modifiers set up. You know, it wasn't super tough, but it was tough, one of the tougher ones we've done. And we actually got through that relatively quick. I feel like that was like one of the first times where I feel like my power level has actually come into play and actually been super beneficial. Like I felt like I was actually holding my own, and I wasn't as stressed as we normally are when we had our modifiers in place.
Yeah, dude, we got on last night. And we were like, all right, let's do the Prestige Nightfall. We won't make it too tough. We'll put this on and this on and see how it goes. And we blazed through it in 13 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
It was just just a dominant performance, and we had never done that in a Prestige Nightfall before. So, you know, on here it's only talking about heroic modifiers, but do you think that they went in and tweaked some of that other stuff as well, or is it just a case where we're just getting more powerful?
I think it's that. I think we're just getting more powerful.
Yeah.
Like I'm actually hoping that maybe we can get back into it this week, because we can do it again, right, and grind that to hopefully get some of the gear. So I would really like to try to raise the modifier, the power level a little bit more, so we get a better multiplier, because I really felt like we seriously crushed through that thing. And that felt really, really good. So, yeah, maybe we should raise it up and see if we can get some of these higher scores and hit that threshold and maybe get some of this loot.
Dude, we just mashed the boss. He was like first phase came in, boom, just railed on him, and then we went to the second phase, finished that one in 30 seconds. Then we were into the final phase. We were done with that in seconds as well. So it was like we spent a total of maybe a minute and a half on that boss, if that.
Arc Singe with the Darcy was just I mean, the health bar was just dropping substantially with each shot. It was really, really good last night.
Yeah, I would like to get back in there too. We've yet to earn any of the Nightfall rewards from any of these strikes, so would love to get in there and try that again. Try to get a bigger score, maybe grind some of these catalysts as well. Maybe we can get one of those to drop in the Nightfall as well. I think those ones that you can get in the heroic strike, you can get in the Nightfall too, right? The catalysts.
I believe so. I think so.
So, yeah, definitely want to get back in there and give that a whirl. On the other side of the exotic coin, you know, we talked about the catalyst, Brent, but these armor updates are significant. So, with the hunter, obviously we've got the lucky raspberry, the stompies, and the young Ahamkara spine. We've talked about that with the titans. The ACD/0 feedback fence, the Doomfang pauldrons, and the Dune Marchers, and then the Warlock Crown of Tempest, Karnstein armlets, and Starfire Protocol all got buffed in this update, and there's some significant buffs here, dude. I've been watching some videos that some people have been posting, and I saw the Titan Sentinel with the Doomfang pauldrons running his Sentinel super for 45 seconds straight, just continuing to damage enemies. So in a PvE setting, extremely dangerous if you're in an event with a lot of enemies. Like, you can imagine an escalation protocol. If you activate Sentinel with the Doomfang pauldrons on, you could just keep killing enemies, keep extending that timer. You could have it for who knows how long.
Right.
That's going to be extremely useful, and it can be extremely dangerous in the Crucible as well. If you're running around, if you're killing people and you're extending that timer, you're just continually like in a loop killing people, especially on some of the smaller levels like the Dead Cliffs or like the Endless Valley. If you're in one of those levels and you're just running around in a circle just killing people, like that could be very nasty. So really like what I saw from that.
Quick shout out in the chat. First of all, Fanboy Tone, thanks for the host on Mixer. And Fear the Beard just showed up, man. He said, "What's up, guys? Fear the Beard, what's going on, dude?"
What up, Beard? And then Brent, I saw a video of the Crown of Tempest for the Warlock. This was awesome as well.
Here we go.
Saw a guy with Stormcaller, lasted 23 seconds, killed 8 enemies in the Crucible. Just rolling through. Crown of Tempest made a huge difference with that. The Karnstein armlets with the 8 seconds of continuous healing. There's some really, really good stuff in here, man. Have you got a chance to mess with any of the Hunter stuff at all?
Shoot. What was it? Lucky Raspberry. I actually,
Raspberry Stompies.
I use the I use the Stompies a little bit in an Iron Banner when I switch, because normally in Iron Banner I'll either go between the Worm Husk. The Worm Husk helmet or the Stompies, just because I like the added strafe jump, triple jump, and a lot of mobility. So the Stompies did feel really good, but still the Worm Husk is my go-to in the Iron Banner. But yeah, you could definitely tell something new with the Stompies.
Yeah, I'm curious how the Stompies are. I was watching some video of the Stompies. Well, it looked really good. The jumping was significant. So definitely looks like that's going to be a useful one in the Crucible as well. But man, how do you ever take off Worm Husk Crown in the Crucible right now?
You really don't. You don't.
Yeah. So really like what I've seen from that. Very much looking forward to getting in here and playing with some more of the armor pieces and see how they've changed. But between this update and the update they had before, they did some pretty nice buffs to some of these armor pieces. So definitely happy with what I'm seeing there. This is an interesting one too in terms of exotics, Brent, but they've increased the number of rounds granted to Crimson on respawn.
Oh baby.
Now help me out with this here. Did you lose ammo on a respawn, or what is this improvement? At no point have I been using Crimson in the Crucible or otherwise and been like, man, I wish I had more ammo on respawn. But yeah. Is this a common complaint? I missed what this was all about.
Dude, you just tell me that, and I don't know what the hell the problem was before. I remember every time I spawned, I think there's like 24, 21 rounds, so I'm not sure where the issue was. Maybe I just didn't notice it, but in the Crucible, you just go and you just start shooting and reload. So maybe I didn't notice it on a respawn. You were down half a clip. I don't know. I don't even know what the problem was, to be honest with you.
Yeah, just I was just more a curiosity from myself because I'm not sure where the buff needed to come in with that. But obviously Crimson gets a lot of play in the Crucible and otherwise right now. So if you're a Crimson user, hey, more ammo on respawn for you. So take a look at that.
Maybe it means like the actual your actual inventory ammo, like
your reserve.
Yeah, I wonder if the reserve is what they're talking about. Maybe I'll look at that next time. But yeah, no, I still pretty sure each mag was still at like 24 or 21 rounds. So maybe the reserve is increased.
Yeah, I think definitely got something to do with that. They definitely did not increase the mag size.
No.
So yeah, we'll have to look more into that and see exactly what they did. But that's it's good to know. As you mentioned too, Brent, earlier, the Prestige Raid Lair is live now. World's First have been completed for both Eater of Worlds and Spire of Stars. So that is in the books now. Really looking forward to getting in there and doing these at some point. We need to make that happen. Of course, the 400 power weapons dropping from these Prestige Raid Lairs. So people are getting in there and getting those now, which is awesome. A big one that I want to talk to you about is they kind of slipped this in here, and we didn't really know that this was coming. We had an inkling about some of this, but this is what they're doing to Iron Banner.
Yes.
So we knew previously that they were going to turn the control points into the Iron Banner like fire pits. So we're like, all right, that's awesome, man. That's cool. Or give it a more Iron Banner feel. But that's not it, Brent. They're changing the rules of control for Iron Banner once again. So obviously the activity is already 6v6. They're adding in the flaming pits. Forsaken power levels will matter once again, which is very exciting.
Yes.
But now what they're doing with Iron Banner is they're changing the power play rules.
I love this.
When you earn a power play in Iron Banner, you will lock the team out of the control points for 20 seconds. 20 seconds. That's a long time in the Crucible to rack up kills. So you will be locked out of those zones, and once that 20 seconds is up, all of the zones go back to neutral, and kind of you're back to square one.
Yep.
The other really cool thing is when you get a power play now, wolves howl.
I love that, dude.
An audio cue.
Did you hear the audio in the video?
Yes.
It sounds so cool. I love it.
I was talking to Shadow Wolf about that yesterday. Like, dude, there's actually going to be howling in this game now. How
That's rad.
excited are you about that? But yeah, Brent, obviously you're excited about this. Talk to me about these changes, man.
Dude, I love that because that's the thing about power plays. Like power play is supposed to be exciting. It's supposed to be like, oh
Yeah.
my god, we got a power play. But more often than not, unless you're playing just a terrible team where people have quit, whenever you get a power play in a full 6v6 match and everyone's like working really hard, that power play lasts like maybe 4 seconds.
Yeah.
It's over before. As soon as you capture out 3, your final one, you see the one furthest away is going, because usually it's typically by a spawn by the other team and they're able to capture it right away. This 20-second thing is crunch. This is truly a power play. You had the advantage for 20 seconds to really rack them up. But I do like how they reset everything back neutral, because you can't have it be 20 seconds and then everything stays that way. It would become unbalanced and the games would be over before they started. By dropping it back to neutral for all of them, it levels the playing field, and it gives the other team that just got housed, gives them a chance to get back into it right away by capturing 1 or 2 right away. But I love that 20-second power plays. That's hot, dude. That now it feels beneficial to start considering that power play, especially at the end of a match. If you're down by 20, 30 points and you're like, okay, look, guys, we need to hustle, and you get that power play in the last 20 seconds of the match, dude, that's going to be intense. You're down by a bunch. The advantage is yours. Can you get enough kills? That's gonna be sweet, dude. I'm hyped for that.
Yeah, that's the thing, dude. This significantly changes the Iron Banner strategy now. Like in the past, it was all about really holding 2 points. That's what you wanted to do.
Yep.
You wanted to have 2 points, maintain zone advantage, and get the kills while you had zone advantage. There wasn't a lot of incentive to go for that power play because they never lasted very long. They were over really quick. So it was a better strategy to hold down the 2 main points that you picked out that you wanted to hold down. You just keep an eye on those and try to keep the other team off of those. Now, with this, like you mentioned, power play is a more than viable strategy now that people are going to be looking at how best to achieve. To go out there to get all 3 of these points, lock people out for 20 seconds, and be able to rack up kills for 20 seconds without the other team having a chance to even sniff a control point, that's huge. Like you said, that can turn the tide of battle. And then with everything going back to neutral after that, it kind of resets the board. Everything goes back to square one, and the tide can turn once again. Now the other team, maybe they get a power play and they're coming back. So it's really going to change the ebb and flow of these matches. So I'm really looking forward to that, and it's something that once again is going to significantly make Iron Banner different. So come Forsaken, when we've got power levels that matter and a set of control rules that are ever so slightly different from the normal control, this is going to be a very unique experience when Iron Banner rolls around. And obviously Iron Banner are not running right now. Faction rallies are live, but in a few weeks we'll have the next Iron Banner running, and then we'll be able to try this out and see what it's all about. Looking forward to it, man.
Yes, sir. Jacob, what's up, buddy? Jacob's in the chat.
Jacob, what's up, dude? And then obviously with Iron Banner as well, they updated the score and time limits to match the standard control that is a part of Quick Play currently. One of the other really exciting parts of this update, Brand, is not only what they've done with Iron Banner, but what they've done with the rest of the Crucible. So Crucible Labs will now grant rewards for you. The Quick Play playlist has been updated completely to 6v6.
Yep.
They changed some of the control scores or changed some of the scoring rules for Clash and Control. The competitive playlist, they got in there tinkered with the bomb timer. I really want to get in there and try that out because I did think that lasted too long. Supremacy is a part of the rotating playlist. Rumble is live. Everything we do now in the Crucible contributes Valor rank, which is awesome.
Yep.
It's a huge update. So next time we play Iron Banner and we play a significant amount of Iron Banner, our Valor rank should go up a good deal because we're gonna be playing a lot of that. They've gone in there. They've done stuff with the win streaks. Just some really, really good quality of life changes to the Crucible. Something that we were talking about, Brent, that we're really enjoying right now. Getting into the Crucible, playing with that. It's been a lot of fun. What of these stick out to you, and you looking forward to jumping back into some Crucible anytime soon?
Yeah, actually, the quick play 6v6 is great. I love 6v6. These maps are the perfect size for 6v6. The action's a little bit more intense. There's a lot going on, but I do want to get back into competitive with you. I want to work on the glory, and the fact that bomb fuse time has been lowered from 40 to 35 seconds is going to be a noticeable differce because there's been multiple times where you're just like, we're so close, or oh damn, I wish it seemed like it took too long for that bomb to go off. So that 5 seconds is going to seem like a lifetime.
Yeah. So So overall thoughts, that's the big stuff from this update. It's live right now. It's on there. So if you're playing Destiny, you're on there. You're experiencing this right now. Overall thoughts, Brent. What are your feelings about the 1.2.3 update? Is this a good bridge into between now and Forsaken? Is this like some of the stuff that we wanted to see?
Yep, I like what I've seen. Like you said, there's a lot of quality of life changes, a lot of stuff that just makes sense. A lot of stuff changes that just makes it a more enjoyable experience. I would like to see the bounties get a little more depth to them, but like you mentioned, this is just kind of the stepping stone, the first step of bounties. We're going to see them evolve over time with Forsaken. We'll see more of the vendors have bounties. But yeah, I would like to see the Crucible ones get a little bit more, a little more bang for your buck with those. I like the Vanguard ones. I think those are fine where they are. I'd like to see the Crucible ones get a little bit of love.
Yeah, I'm with you on that 100%, and I'm a big fan of this update as well. This, to me, just shows once again, Brent, that Bungie is taking the feedback on this game and implementing it into the game as quickly as they can. So basically, this entire update is just based on like feedback that they've received from players on the game. So I like to see that stuff. Excited about that. Enjoying this update so far. Looking forward to playing some more. Can't wait to try out that Iron Banner in a couple weeks. So that's really what I'm looking forward to from this update. And obviously getting into those raids. We got to do that at some point as well. All right, moving on, sir. So after this update, the other big thing that happened this week, Brent, is that the Solstice of Heroes event has been revealed. Yes. So we now have a better idea of what this event is going to entail. It starts on July 31st, and from there it'll run until I think it's August 28th.
Yep, August 28th.
Somewhere around there.
Yep.
So roughly a month time, we'll be able to hop into the Solstice of Hero and experience all that this event has to offer. So here's kind of the nitty gritty of Solstice of Heroes. There's actually some cool some lore behind this. If you go and read the Solstice of Heroes post that Bungie put on their site, you'll get kind of the lore behind this event. But it's basically a celebration of our victory over the Red Legion, over Panoptes, over the Hive and Zol in the Warmind DLC. Celebration of everything that we've accomplished in Gear 1 of Destiny 2. So Solstice of Heroes begins on Tuesday, July 31st. This event is held in the Tower and allows the inhabitants of the city to celebrate and thank Guardians for bravely defending them. During this time of celebration, Guardians will once again don the non-broken ceremonial armor from the day the city was lost to the Red Legion. They do this for many reasons, to remind themselves of what it's like to not be invincible, to challenge themselves and thus inspire the city even more, and to eventually reforge that broken gear into something stronger, just as humanity has been broken and reforged over and over again for hundreds of years. Guardians will meditate on their journey through the Red War and take on additional challenges in those memories. They will marvel at the resurgence of the Traveler as the elements themselves flare into existence during their adventures. And they'll do it all while humanity celebrates their past, present, and future. Ikora Reyes, the Tower's representative for the Solstice of Heroes event, shall direct you to the center of the tower where the city has erected the Statue of Heroes as the focal point for the event. The statue will track your moments of triumph progress and grant you the Solstice of Heroes event armor that you will begin upgrading. So that's kind of the overarching idea of what this event is all about. Now, on that armor, Brent, this is one of the coolest things about this event. So after you visit the Statue of Heroes, you will receive an uncommon scorched armor set at power 240. On each armor piece is a series of objectives that you will need to complete to upgrade the armor. Once you have completed the objectives, return to the Statue of Heroes to upgrade to the next set. After you upgrade your Shattered set, you receive the Rekindled set at power 340 with a new list of objectives. Once you complete those objectives, your reward is the Resplendent armor set at power 400.
Ugh.
One final group of objectives to complete, and you'll unlock the Masterwork version of that armor set.
Oh, man.
So basically 4 separate stages of this armor that we're going to be able to go to as part of the Solstice of Heroes event. If you love the way the Shattered or Rekindled sets look, I like this as well, and would rather show those off, we've got you covered. Each Resplendent armor set offers the previous versions as ornaments.
Awesome.
So you can pick and choose how each piece looks, which is really cool. And Brent, this is based on the first set of armor you wear at the start of Destiny 2.
I think it
really
says
like
scorched. It says scorched, doesn't it? Like all the pieces.
Yeah.
I mean, now correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, we saw wasn't there a scorched weapon too?
There was, there was a hand cannon, I
Hand
believe,
cannon,
for the Warlock. I'm not sure if it was the same for all the classes, but yeah, there was a scorched hand cannon in there as well. And I've always really liked this armor. In fact, I've said on multiple occasions, I was like, man, it'd be cool if we could get this armor. I know Ikora sells a set for Warlocks that looks kind of similar to what this this armor looks like. But I think it's really cool that we're going to get that set of armor from the beginning of Destiny 2, and we're going to be able to upgrade it into this resplendent armor, which looks really cool. I like the look of these armor pieces, like the look of the Solstice of Heroes event. And I love this idea of going through these different challenges, and it sounds like we're going to have a nice roadmap of things to do, and even being able to masterwork it after all is said and done is really neat as well. What's your thoughts on this idea, Brent?
I love it, man. Again, this is all like carrots on the stick out in front of you. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to grind out, knock out the objectives I need to knock out to get this armor set. I love ornaments, dude. I am addicted to ornaments, and when armor has ornaments, I am going to do whatever the hell I can to get all those ornaments. I just want that complete look. I fell for it with Dead Orbit. I have been into it even more with Iron Banner. I'm going to want to do it with the Solstice of Heroes armor as well.
Yeah, I've been doing it with the Crucible and with Zavala as well. So I got the season 2 stuff for those armor sets. Now I'm looking at what needs to be done for season 3. And yeah, we're big ornament fans here at Short Paws. A lot of time and energy being put into making our armor look sweet. But I would imagine, Brent, that to get to 400 armor or to 400 power in this armor, we're gonna have to do something pretty substantial.
Oh yeah.
Any idea of what these challenges look like? Specifically, like what these end level challenges might look like?
I gotta believe. I mean, obviously we're gonna.
They haven't shown us anything in terms of what we're gonna have to do, right?
No, they haven't. And I mean, I'm wondering it'll be tied to these missions we'll be talking about in a moment. I'm assuming there'll be various levels of difficulty for these missions. But I mean, off the top of my head, I can't figure out where they would be able to go to try to kind of get you back into some other mode, maybe doing something else that you haven't done in a while, and put some objectives on those. But no, I couldn't guess right now what we're gonna be doing.
Yeah, I imagine, like you said, some of the initial things that we're gonna have to do are gonna probably tie into these Redux missions, which we'll talk about in 1 second here. But man, once they get those 400 armor sets in front of you and they dangle that carrot, I feel like we're gonna have to do some tough things, like maybe Escalation Protocol or a raid or something. I mean, obviously the raid has the weapons, so maybe those won't factor in. But very curious what they're gonna make us do to get these 400 armor sets. Now, as we were talking about these missions, and one of the really interesting parts of Solstice of Heroes is we're going to revisit some of the story missions in this game. And as part of the July update and the unveiling of Solstice of Heroes, Bungie actually put out another one of those development commentaries. It's a 4.5 minute video where they talk about what they're looking forward to with the July update and what we can look forward to with Solstice of Heroes. And they gave us a hint at what we're going to be doing in these Redux missions. And it sounds like they're going to be the story missions from the game, but retooled with new enemies, maybe new things we weren't expecting in there, new challenges. So very, very curious to see what they do with these. And the 5 missions they've chosen to highlight as Redux missions in this game are Homecoming, the very first mission in the game, an awesome mission, one of the best missions in the game. Spark, which I assume is the one where we go to get our light back. I assume that's what that mission is. Not 100% sure on all of these. Payback, that looks like that's the tank mission.
Yep.
Where you drive that tank through the Cabal base.
Yes.
That's a cool mission. 1AU, I believe, is the mission that takes place on the Almighty.
It is.
Yeah. So that's a sweet mission. I love that mission. So awesome that they're bringing that one back. And then Chosen, I imagine, is the final mission in the game.
Yep.
Is that correct?
That's what I'm gonna assume.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, so obviously that's the final mission. We make our final strike and go and fight Gaul, and how all that plays out. So really, really curious. What do you think about this idea, Brent, of this Redux mission? It makes sense for this event, right? That we're kind of celebrating our victories in the game prior. We're going to go back, relive some of those moments, add some new challenges, get some new gear on top of it. What's your take on this?
Yeah, these are arguably the most exciting story missions in the game.
Yeah, they're like the most iconic.
Yeah, exactly. These are the ones that people remember most fondly and were the most exciting to play through. So it's cool that we're going to go back and do this. But listening to the developers talk about this, I mean, the fact they're going to be like, yeah, you're going to jump in this, like, yeah, I remember this mission, and then boom, and right in the face, you're going to run into new enemies, new threats, and they're going to play a little bit differently than what you remembered them. So that's really, really cool. Going back into these missions, getting a new version of it with new enemies, more powerful enemies, and all that stuff. So I think this is a really cool thing.
Yeah, really, really looking forward to seeing how that plays out as well. Of course, Brent, a big part of Solstice of Heroes is the moments of triumph. Those are going on right now, and they will ramp up in earnest once Solstice of Heroes starts at the end of this month. So, as Bungie notes, many of you have already begun completing your moments of triumph, currently being tracked on Bungie.net. You can track it there or via the app currently. The final 5 triumphs, so there's 5 left to go, will become available at the beginning of the Solstice of Heroes event and can be tracked in-game. Your triumphs will be tracked by in-game bounties that are obtained by at the Statue of Heroes. As you complete and turn in those bounties, you'll unlock rewards that can be redeemed at the statue.
Mm-hmm.
Moments of Triumph bounties will become available in-game starting on July 31st. Players may access a set number of triumphs on Bungie.net prior to the event beginning, as we talked about. You can complete these triumphs to earn points that can then be traded for rewards. As we've gone over in the past, you got emblems, sparrows, the T-shirt. When the summer event becomes available on July 31st, players can receive these triumph bounties from the special summer event vendor or that statue, and they'll have the entirety of the event to complete them. So it sounds like just from that, Brent, that these are going to be significant bounties. Mm-hmm. There's going to be maybe some tiers or some to these challenges that we're going to have to complete in order to complete these bounties. Triumphs are all account specific. So once a triumph has been claimed and redeemed for points, it cannot be claimed for points on another character. All triumphs can be tracked via Bungie.net. The highest values of a character on that account will be displayed. In-game rewards will become available on July 31st when the event starts. So, Brent, what do you think about this idea of moments of triumph bounties? Any thoughts on what these could be? I mean, do you feel the same way? Like, these seem like they're going to be significant challenges or at least lengthy, like, quest type of things that we're going to have to do?
Yeah, I think these are going to be far more elaborate than what we're getting from Zavala and what we're getting from the Crucible bounties. These are going to be very lengthy. They're going to take a while to complete. But that's the way it should be for Moments of Triumph. I mean, you wouldn't expect just a simple bounty, going into the Moments of Triumph. This is stuff that you're going to have to grind for. You're going to have to earn. It's part of what makes Destiny Destiny. So, yeah, I'm expecting very elaborate bounties here.
So am I right in assuming then that the final 5 triumphs that they're referencing are like 5 Moments of Triumph bounties? Is that what they're getting at with this?
I mean, those are the ones that are hidden. So, yeah, I'm assuming that those are going to be tied to that.
Yeah, that's my thought right now, that these bounties are what we're going to have to do to complete those final 5 Moments of Triumph. So we'll see if that becomes true in a couple weeks here. Mm-hmm. One final thing we do want to mention about the Solstice of Heroes event is what they're doing with Eververse. So there's also the Solstice engram that will be available from Tess Everest. You can earn 3 per account by completing the event milestone on each of your characters. No matter what activity you play in Destiny 2 during Solstice of Heroes, you receive 1 Solstice engram in addition to the Bright engram you earn for leveling up. So, or the Prototype engram is what we're earning right now in Season 3 of Destiny. So every time you level up during Solstice of Heroes, you'll get 2 engrams from Eververse. For the duration of Solstice of Heroes, players will earn a bonus Solstice engram with each Prototype engram earned through Prestige level up. When decrypting Solstice engrams, players will receive new items until they've unlocked all the items in the box. So I love this. This is how Eververse should always be. Once all items have been acquired, additional Solstice engrams will award duplicate items. Players may track what items they've earned from the Solstice engram through the engrams preview. Which is cool. So I love that this is on a knockout system. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of taking some of the stuff that they started with the Prismatic Matrix, just moving it into a more manageable thing with the Solstice engram. Also, as part of this, there's going to be a new item type, an Armor Glow. So players who earn Solstice of Heroes armor sets may use Armor Glows obtained from Eververse or the Solstice engram. What this reminds me of is the armor ornaments from Iron Banner from Destiny 1, like the flaming, the flaming ornaments that you used to be able to add to those. So Armor Glows illuminate portions of the Solstice of Heroes armor and shine brightest when the element of the Armor Glow and the Guardian subclass align. So if you have an Arc Armor Glow and you add that to your armor set and you're a Stormcaller or an Arc Strider, like it will, that's when the glow will be most illuminated. Once obtained, Armor Glows may be used and reused on any Solstice of Heroes armor piece, regardless of class. So not only will these armor sets be able to grant you 400 power level, Brett, but they're also going to have this Armor Glow exclusive to them as well, which also makes them a little bit special. During Solstice of Heroes, players may purchase event-exclusive items from Eververse for Bright Dust. Armor Glows also come from the Solstice engram. These can be applied to any version of the Solstice of Heroes armor sets to provide Guardians with an enhanced look. they're unlocked permanently once again, like ornaments. So be on the lookout for that. What's your thought on this whole setup with Eververse, Brent?
Dude, I just want to see my Night Stalker glowing purple, dude. That's all I want to see. I want to see my Night Stalker looking all purple. That's awesome. I mean, that's just a whole nother layer to these ornaments. You know, again, more unique stuff that we're gonna have to grind for. I mean, you're preaching to me, man. I love it.
Yeah, it also sounds like there's not a lot of stuff tied to buying stuff from Eververse, which
Right.
I like. This is just something you're gonna kind of naturally earn over the course of the event as you're leveling up your character. So,
Right.
which is how Eververse should be. So, like to see that. So overall, Brett, that's what we know about the Solstice of Heroes event right now. How excited are you for July 31st when this thing starts?
Dude, I'm really hyped, man. And how about those emotes that we're getting too?
Oh yeah, those with the like the cha-cha dance or
Yeah,
whatever.
one's doing the cha-cha chance, the other guy's fishing.
Yeah, the fishing one. Yeah, they're both really cool. I definitely want to get my hands on both of those.
Yeah,
But
big fan
always
of the
exciting
emotes.
to get emotes. And in addition to that, we've got the new ghost shells, sparrows that are going to be a part of this as well.
Yep.
Dude, the sparrows are sweet.
Yeah, the
One of them looks like it's from Tron.
Yes, that's the one I want. Is the one from Tron, dude. That one's badass.
Yeah, and the other one looks really neat as well. It looks like a motorcycle. It's the way it's designed looks like a motorcycle without wheels. So that one's really neat. We've got some new exotic ornaments that are coming in as well.
Looks like we got Sturm. Looks like a Suros regime, and then what's that one in the middle? Is that Jade Rabbit?
Yes, that's
Is that
Jade Rabbit.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So, really like the ghost shells as well. The one that looks like a sunburst.
Yeah, the one. Yeah, it looks like a throwing star almost. That's sweet.
Yeah. Yes, that one's really neat. So, yeah, there's gonna be some cool cosmetic stuff to earn as well as part of this. Yeah, I can't wait, man. Really looking forward to this. This coupled with everything else that's going on in the game, and the things we're trying to earn, and the ornaments, and getting our power level up, trying to complete escalation protocol and get those weapons, getting into the raids, all that kind of stuff. A lot of really exciting things that we're going to be doing prior to Forsaken, man, and that's really cool. It's crazy that we're a month and a half away from Forsaken.
Yeah, it's going by so quick.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help because every week there's something new in Destiny. Like, you know, we'll have this week we're doing faction rallies, and then next week is going to be faction rally week, you know, rewards week. And then, you know, after that's probably going to be the next Iron Banner. I mean, the way they just constantly keep hitting us with the stuff, it's crazy.
Yeah, I always feel compelled to jump into and play the game. So I always have something to do. I have a lot that I want to accomplish before Forsaken, man. So I've got some work ahead of me. All right, but moving on from the Solstice of Heroes, a few other things that we want to touch on here. As you mentioned, Brent, the final faction rally of the season, live now. Who'd you pledge to, man?
I went New Monarchy.
Oh, boy. Came over to the dark side.
I did, yeah. I joined all you losers.
I am still with New Monarchy as well. Still trying to complete my my entirety of the New Monarchy set for the season here. I am only a few levels away now. 1 or 2 more days in there, and I will be done with that, and I'll have earned the Sweet Business Catalyst and the Armor Catalyst as well, which I believe is for a Titan, so I won't be able to use it, but c'est la vie.
Mm-hmm.
So that's live right now. Do you think that with the way the game's been going, that people jumped into Dead Orbit the first week, they jumped into the Future War Cult the second week, and now people have completed those two, and they're just gonna naturally gravitate over to the Monarchy? Is New Monarchy like the leader in the clubhouse to win this one, you think?
I think it is, because I mean that's where the most. I mean I don't know how many people were actually able to knock out each of these factions and each faction rally that came out. It took me 2 to get Dead Orbit, and but for those, I mean that just seems like the natural flow of things, that like New Monarchy should be considered the favorite right now.
Yeah, like I thought that too, but to see people go out and to see Future War Cult win the second week, that tells me that people went in, they finished Dead Orbit, and they gravitated over to the Future War Cult and worked on that one. Like I understand that more people pledged to Dead Orbit than Future War Cult in the second rally, but like the hardcore people, the people that are going out there and completing the entire 50 ranks over the course of 1 week, like those are the people that moved over to Future War Cult the second week. Because those are the hardcore people that were grinding away those packages to get Future War Cult the victory. And I have to imagine that same subset is going to then move over to New Monarchy for this one to finish out the entirety of the reward spectrum for Season 3 in the faction rally. So I feel good about New Monarchy winning this one. We'll see when all is said and done. But yeah, we'll come next Tuesday. We'll know the results.
Yes, sir.
A couple other important notes from this week at Bungie as well. So the player support team came in.
Jacob just said, y'all suck. I finished Dead Orbit and I had no cares for New Monarchy, but now I'm almost done with Future War Cult. Man, Jacob is a machine.
Yeah,
Jacob is
clearly.
is a flat-out machine. Well done, Jacob.
Congratulations, Jacob. So yeah, a couple things to note here from player support. So raid layer ornaments, I guess the requirements aren't showing correctly right now in the game, but they can still be earned by doing the challenges that are required. So the head armor ornament requires completion of Eater of Worlds and the Throne challenge. The arms ornament, same thing, and the Gardens challenge. The chest armor, these are all you complete Eater of Worlds. So with the chest armor, you complete that, get the Pools challenge. The leg armor goes off the Gauntlet challenge, and then the class item is just completing Eater of Worlds. So keep that in mind if you're going for those ornaments. And this one's really important here, Brent. I want to get your thoughts on this, but weapons earned in prestige raid layers cannot be infused directly into other legendary weapons. They may be infused into exotic weapons, however, and those exotic weapons may be then infused into non-raid legendary weapons. But players should exercise caution when doing so because non-prestige raid layer legendary weapons will be capped at 385 power when infused. This information is also available in a help article on Bungie as well. So there's an editor's note on this as well that I want to mention. Weapons from prestige raid layers and armor from Solstice of Heroes were not intended to be infusion fodder for two reasons. These items are intended to be trophies for players to show their accomplishments leading up to Forsaken. If a player who owns Curse of Osiris but do not own Warmind, use of these items if a player who owns Curse of Osiris but does not own Warmind uses these items for infusion, any gear infused above 335 power will no longer be available for use.
Oof.
Players who have already done this can claim a duplicate of their weapon from their weapons collections, which will be available when Forsaken launches on September 4th. So very, very important here, Brent, that when you get these items, these prestige weapons from the prestige raid layers, that you don't infuse them into anything other than an exotic because you won't be able to use the 400 power level. So just keep that in mind. Want to get your thoughts on this. The community I think is a little bit divided on how they view this. They want to take these 400 guns and infuse them into some of their favorite guns like Orman's Anvil or like the Origin Story or something along those lines. Do you like this idea that these are like trophy items as a part of this game and they should only be reserved for the people that went in there, did these accomplishments, and they're unique to this armor and these weapons? Mm-hmm. Are you on board with that approach?
I actually don't mind that. I like that a lot, actually, because there's certain, I would want to have that as a trophy showing that I completed that. I mean, I'm going to get a 400 weapon at some point that I'll be able to infuse into my other legendary non-prestige weapons. So I'm not too worried about that. I mean, people probably want to do it now, but it's whatever, and I can understand why they want to do it. I mean, I would love to get my Oromans up to a 400, but if I'm going in there knocking out prestige laid rares and prestige raid stuff, and I'm getting like some super like unique rare stuff, I'm not going to want to infuse it anyways. I'm going to want to hang on to that because I'm going to be playing Forsaken enough. I'm going to get 400 and higher weapons I can put into my other things. So no, I wouldn't. I understand, why some of the community would want to do that. But myself, I would not want to just get rid of a trophy item now.
Yeah, I'm okay with this as well because, like you mentioned, this is a month-long event prior to Forsaken. The whole point of this is to give you something cool to achieve, a feather in your cap prior to Forsaken. Mm-hmm. So if the whole crux of it is going out, earning this armor, earning these weapons, showing off your accomplishments to your fellow Guardians in the lead up to Forsaken. After Forsaken, this event's not gonna matter anymore because the power level is gonna be boosted to 600 and yada yada yada. So I'm on board with this as well. I think this is a fine way to do it, and I think actually being able to infuse stuff into exotics is a fine compromise here. Like you're still gonna be able to take your favorite exotic weapons like the Crimson, like the Vigilance Wing, and jack those up to 400 as well by infusing the items that you get into that. So I think that's cool. All right, so moving on from there. That's the next story, Brent. So we've got new footage of Forsaken's second mission. It's called Scorned. This comes via Game Informer, and also our first look at a public event from the Dreaming City. Now, I have not watched any of the footage of this scoring mission. I have not watched any of the footage of the Dreaming City. At this point, Brent, I've seen what I need to see from Forsaken. I do not need to see any more of this game. So I've already seen footage from the first mission in the game. Don't really need to see footage from the second mission. I'm good on that. And I don't want to see anything from the Dreaming City right now. Like it's cool that I've seen the Tangled Shore, seen what's going into that, but the Dreaming City is already an immensely mysterious place. I want it to stay that way as much as possible prior to the launch of Forsaken. I believe we've got some video rolling of some of those right now. So if you are so inclined, take a look at the videos that we're playing right now. But Brent, what's your thoughts on this, man? Have you watched the Scorn mission or the Dreaming City public event? And obviously, this is just a public event in the Dreaming City. This is not like spoiling the game or anything like that. So this is not really too much of a big deal to watch. But what's your thoughts on this, man? Have you watched either one of these videos?
I literally watched like the first 30 seconds, and I wasn't really paying attention. I was just recording it just so we could have video. And obviously these videos are from Game Informer, but just enough to give people who are interested in seeing a little bit of it. But I didn't watch any because like you, I know what to expect from these areas. I would just want to explore and experience it for myself for the first time. I don't need any more reveals for these areas, especially the Dreaming City. I mean, this is the one that. That they've likened to, the Dreadnought, only far more in depth and a lot more mystery and surprise. So I'm not watching any more of these videos, but this was just a couple of snippets, and that's all we're gonna show.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm with you on that, especially with regards to the Dreaming City. Like that's a place I want to be mysterious, that I want to experience for the first time once I finish the campaign and eventually get to the Dreaming City in the game and see what that's all about. So there will be some and we'll talk about this a little bit later, but I'll just save that for later. All right, moving on from there. A very interesting story before we close things out here, but Nathan Fillion has revealed that he is not voicing Cade 6 at all in Forsaken. It's actually going to be Nolan North who steps into to voice Cade 6, which is hilarious. Obviously, Nathan Fillion just made that awesome fan film of Uncharted where he played Nathan Drake, obviously voiced by Nolan North, and so now they're kind of reversing roles in Destiny, and Nolan's going to be picking up the slack for Nathan in Forsaken here. Apparently, I didn't pick up on this initially, but people were watching the Forsaken footage that was revealed, or the trailer, and they were picking up the fact that was not Nathan Fillion's voice voicing Cade. I didn't pick up on it at first. I must just not been paying close enough attention. But it's funny because you've quipped in the past that Nathan Fillion sounds a lot like Nolan North.
Dude, when we were watching that Uncharted video, I was like, man, he sounds just like Nolan North. That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's probably going to be a pretty smooth transition when it's all said and done from Nolan to Nathan in this thing here. But I want to read a few quotes here, Brent. So, he broke this news on Kotaku's Split Screen podcast. They had an interview with him where he talked about this. So, the main thing was he had this to say: I wasn't available for this last installment. It's not me doing the voice for Cade 6. In a wonderful, amazing turn of events, it's actually Nolan North. Unfortunately, these things don't work out, and it's a little bit heartbreaking. But if it has to go to someone else, then thank God it goes to someone I absolutely love and the fans love. The character was in good hands. So it sounds like just a scheduling conflict. Nathan Fillion's a very busy man. He is in a number of TV shows.
I think he's got a new show dropping this fall, so that's probably what he was busy working on.
Yeah, he has a new show going on, and if I was a betting man, I don't believe that all along they were going to go this route with the next part of Destiny 2. I don't know that they were intent on killing Cade 6 from the beginning when they started this whole thing. I think the way things kind of went, they made that decision sometime down the line. I think they always had the idea to go to the Reef, and obviously we saw the Traveler's Light at the end of Destiny 2 spread out across the universe, and that's given us the roadmap for how they're going to release these DLC packs for us. But I think that they knew that they were going to the Reef, but they didn't necessarily know the story they were going to tell. So they may not even have known that Cade was going to be a big part of this when they got to this point. So it may not have been something they even thought to book, Nathan Fillion for this far in the future. I have no idea. This is just me just postulating off the top of my head here. But He just says that there was a scheduling conflict, wasn't available to voice Cade Six here. Is there more to the story? Maybe. I have no idea. But just from listening to Nathan doesn't sound like it. Interestingly enough, Kotaku pushed him on the idea that Cade is supposed to die in this game, and this is it. Like, this is the end of Cade 6. So they asked Nathan what he thought about that, and he was like, "How do I feel about Cade 6? I absolutely love him. How do I feel about that character dying? I don't personally believe it because he's a guardian. He should be able to come back. I mean, that's their whole thing. Is that they come back, right? That's the whole thing, is the resurrection." So they obviously talked to him about them showing that his ghost was shot, and yada yada yada. But I just thought this was very interesting, Brent, that the guy who is Cade 6, he's been Cade 6 for the last 4 years. The first thing he talked about when they asked him about this character was that, I don't think he's dead. So you would think that a guy who's been heavily invested in this character and probably has some type of a contract with Bungie to work on this character now and into the future. Could this maybe be a little bit of a Freudian slip here with him just being like, I don't think he's dead? Is that because he knows something that we don't know and he's got more work for this character in the future? Or is this simply Nathan just having a conversation with guys and just going off of what he knows of the character, that I don't think he's dead because he's a guardian? Maybe he doesn't realize that his ghost has been shot, and Bungie's made a big deal about this being the end of Cade 6. Now, I've said in the past, Brent, that deep down, I still don't believe we've seen the end of Cade 6. I think when the dust settles, no pun intended, on all of this, and Forsaken has come and gone, at some point, Bungie's going to look at this and be like, man, there's really nothing we can do to replace Cade 6 other than Cade 7. And we need to do something, make something work. Maybe, like I said, at the end, there's a secret ending where we see a tinge of light in his ghost or something like that. But yeah, I don't want to get too far off a tangent here, but what do you think about what's going on here with Cade? What's going on with Nolan and Nathan? What do you think about what he said, Brent? Your thoughts, man?
First of all, yeah, I just think this is, like we talked about, this is in just scheduling. So, I mean, and the fact they got Nolan North in there. Nolan North is a very talented person. He can go from doing Ghost to doing Cade to doing just about any character he wants to.
Doing the Penguin to...
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, you guys talented as hell. The character is going to be in good hands for what little time he's going to be on screen. But, no, I mean, I think that's just Nathan Fillion just saying, that's just offering his opinion. No, I don't think Cade is dead. If he does know of something, honestly, man, I don't think, if we do see Cade, I don't even think it's going to be in Destiny 2. I don't think we'll see the return of Cade. If Cade 6 does come back, it's not going to be until Destiny 3. Somewhere in Destiny 3, that's when they'll make the revival. But I think for what the developers are trying to do, how they're trying to like sell this story, Cade 6 will be dead for the remainder of Destiny 2. He's not coming back in Destiny 2. And whether or not he comes back in Destiny 3, I don't know. I mean, could that be a cool story point? Yeah. But there's a lot of enemies that the Guardians are going to have to deal with. There's going to be a lot of different stories. There's a lot, and we've talked about, there's a ton of lore in this game. There's a lot of characters out there that could easily, maybe they're not as noticeable, as iconic as Cade, but there are a lot of characters out there that have some depth that they could bring in with another voice actor who's just as talented, or another up-and-coming voice actor, and create something for himself or herself, or whatever they try to do with another character. But no, I mean, if Cade 6 is coming back, it's not going to be in Destiny 2. There's no way.
So, Brent, deep down, do you think there's just a little bit of something to this idea that Fillion, who's been this character for the last 4 years, doesn't get to voice him in his final appearance in the game? That's a bit strange. Scheduling conflicts or not, you would think that if this was indeed the final time that Cade would be on screen, or that Nathan Fillion would have a chance to step into his shoes, that they would do any and everything in their power to make sure that he got to voice his final moments. So there's that, and the fact that, just like I said, he's been Cade for 4 years, and and maybe he's just playing this off. But I generally felt like when they asked him this question, like he was like, "Yeah, I don't think he's dead." Like, is there something deep down where he knows that he's got some more work in the future for this character? It seems like Bungie would have had a conversation with him, like, look, man, you've been Cade for the last 4 years. He's been in Bungie games for a long time, so of course he has some type of relationship with that studio. You think they would have come to him at some point and been like, look, man, we're about to kill your character off. Like, this is it. This is the end of Cade. We're not going to see him once again. I didn't get that vibe from Fillion. Obviously, he's a gifted actor. He can just be playing this off. but part of me is just like, hmm, hmm. There might be a little something to this. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I think you might be onto something by saying that the writers of the game probably didn't know they were going to go this route until the backlash from Destiny, the launch of Destiny 2, and they're probably sitting around going, "What do we do? What do we do to kind of just reset everything?" And that's kind of what they have alluded to in these developer diaries, these videos that come out. We needed something to shake things up, and the death of Cade made sense. So that's very possible that maybe they didn't know until the last time Cade. Oh, by the way, Nathan, this is gonna be the last time you can voice Cade. And it's possible Nathan Fillion, but I mean at the same time, Nathan Fillion had to have known, and Bungie had to have known. Look, there's gonna be a big update in September in the fall. You're going to be involved in some way. And now whether Nathan Fillion knew it would be the final performance, or maybe he just knew, hey, look, I'm not going to be around for that expansion. I won't be around for the fall update, but I'll be around later on. Maybe he didn't know the character was going to get killed off. So I mean, if that's the case, then that could be something there. But for him to sit there and just simply say, I don't think he's dead. I don't think that's alluding to anything. I think he's just offering his opinion on the character himself. I mean, he's an actor. He wants to get paid. He's not going to be like, yeah, he's dead. I'm not coming back. So I mean, he wants to leave it open for Bungie. He's basically saying to Bungie, "Hey, I'm ready. I wasn't here for this update, but I'll be ready for the next one." So I don't know, man. I just I think right now, because I doubt they have a lot of work going into Destiny 3 right now in the story. They're probably still trying to draft everything. So I just don't think there's any plans for Cade 6 for a while, and I don't think Nathan Fillion has to worry about missing another opportunity. Not until we're closer or deeper into Destiny 3.
We'll see, man. If the other thing floating around in my head too is if indeed the next expansion to this game takes place on the Dreadnought or on Saturn, as the Traveler's Lightwave has shown us, you would assume that Eris Morn is going to be involved in some respect. And how do you have an expansion based on Eris Morn without Cade, like ripping on her, like ragging on her? How does that work?
They can't afford it, dude. They're too far in. They're too invested in this whole. You need a catalyst to get Guardians fighting. There's no way. There's no way Cade 6 is back in Destiny 2. No way.
I still hold to the idea that we are going to have the death of Cade. We're going to be invested in Forsaken. But after that, people are going to be ready for the return of Cade. So whether that's in the next expansion or Destiny 3, at some point, we're going to see the return of Cade. I wholeheartedly believe that. It's funny because when they were on split screen, when they were talking to Fillion and asking him about or just pushing him on the fact that Bungie's been adamant that Cade is dead, he came back with this. Well, then in that case, my go-to answer to this question would be, I'm really excited to work with Activision again and do the prequel of how we get to Cade 1 through 5. So maybe we'll get the Cade prequel at some point. But thought that was a very, very interesting story that came out this week regarding that. One final note here, Brent. So Bungie finished out their weekly update this week with this. This is Cosmo writing here. I've been out for a bit lately. Went to visit the fam, then Guardian Con. It's good to be back. This update is lighter than some, but we have a lot more we'll want to talk about before the launch of Forsaken. We know you have burning questions about how exactly we'll keep some of our promises regarding the new state of combat, and we're working out details for how we'll serve up those answers. Some of them will happen in real time on stream. Others will land right here on a Thursday yet to come. Keep your eyes on this space, and you'll learn everything you need to know to take your first steps in avenging Cade. So right there, Brent, we've got a little mini roadmap about what we can expect regarding Bungie updates and the future of Destiny 2 leading up to Forsaken over the next few weeks. It sounds like we're going to get some more streams in there, man.
Yep.
And so I mentioned before that I didn't really want to see any more of the missions or any more of the Dreaming City or that kind of stuff, but I am interested in seeing Bungie hop back on stream and explain to us exactly how the weapon system works. Explain to us exactly how the new mod system works. That kind of stuff I'm super interested in. And if they do jump in and do a stream for that, I will be there 100% watching that and soaking in all that information. So what do you think, man? It sounds like we might get one, maybe in an additional stream down the line, maybe 2 streams. And obviously we're gonna have a lot of information coming up in the This Week at Bungie over the next few weeks. Deej actually tweeted out earlier today that he was at at a mini summit with all the community managers, and they're mapping out all of the updates for the rest of the summer leading up to Forsaken on what they're going to divvy out to people and how they're gonna go about this. So definitely going to be some exciting updates, I think, in the coming weeks leading up to Forsaken. What do you think, man?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we'll see some videos, probably like you said, some of the weapon changes, especially like the re-rolls or
the random rolls.
Random rolls.
Yeah.
And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we get to see a video maybe previewing, not a whole lot, but some previews of the new strike missions that we'll be getting with Forsaken as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a little some of that action too.
Yeah, definitely could see some of that coming down the pipe. So Brent, that is going to do it for this episode of Tower Talk. Some exciting stuff, man. Exciting stuff to do in Destiny. I'm just jacked, man. I'm excited about the game. Having a lot of fun playing it. Really, really hyped for when Forsaken finally launches on September 4th, man. That's gonna be a hell of a week.
Hell yeah, dude. We're getting closer and closer. But for the time being, we gotta start working on our glory, and we gotta start knocking out some of these escalation protocols. And you need to help me find that damn regional chest on Nessus. Help me find that thing.
Io.
Io, wherever it's at. Damn it, I need to find that thing.
Yeah, next time we go on, we'll go to Io and knock it out.
Sounds good, dude.
So that is going to do it for us. Follow us on Twitter at The Short Pause. If you like what we do here, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the bell, though, so that you get real-time updates on when all of our content goes live, so that you never miss any of that stuff. Our Twitter handles, I believe, are underneath us here, right, bro?
They are right beneath us.
So not watching the video currently, so I assume that they're down there. So make sure you follow us there as well. Shoot us an email, podcast@shortpause.com, if you ever want to get in contact with us. We will have a new episode of the podcast this Saturday night at 10:30 p.m. live. So if you want to stop by, hop in the chat, we'd love to have you guys there. So be on the lookout for that. For Brent, for Ben, that's going to do it for us this evening. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll see you next week.
See you guys
on
later.
Saturday.